Welcome to Healthy Body by Sophie. So today we're going to be talking about the shoulder and specifically the rotator cuff muscles, or sit muscles as we call them. That's the acronym for basically the muscles of the rotator cuff. We have 4 videos so far that we have made already regarding they were all revolving around the frozen shoulder, which this one as well could be. However, before reaching a frozen shoulder state, which means that your shoulder is frozen and you can't move your arm, there's many other steps with impingement. So we decided to make a short video here. Hopefully it will be more condensed than the others all combined that we have made so far, to give you really a summary of everything that so far we have created. So now we have chin-up bars in our office everywhere. We have like 4 or 5 chin-up bars at different levels, different heights, because depending on the height of the person, the chin-up bar needs to be higher or lower. We also have some in our home. They're really everywhere. You have to make them visible for you to be doing those exercises. They're very simple, basic. That don't take much time, less than 30 seconds for most of them. You could go up to a minute and a half each of them in different spots. But really, there's no excuse for people to say, I don't have time. You just need to make your equipment. Some do require equipment, some exercise, some don't. Visible, in your day-to-day activity. Otherwise, it's too easy to forget to do it or just not do it. So this video is going to try to be condensed. I'm not going to be going through the breath work that's so critical and important in releasing those tension in muscle. So you're going to want to work through your breath, which I'm not going to include specifically in that video. You're going to want to include, before you're treating these areas, I'm going to show with the ball, the mace. You're going to want to possibly go for a walk or a nice jog. You may want to do the cardio flossing, cardio dancing videos that I have on my YouTube channel. And you also may want to do some Tai Chi, yoga. All of those things are good to warm up. Same with actually a cool down. It could be your main source of working out. That's completely fine as well. So really those are the main thing that I want to mention to you now, because I am not going to be talking about it when I do the trigger point releases. Here I have a baseball in a long tube sock. I'm going to show you now through little clips of videos how to get to all these different spots. You see that I am painted, well, it's not really painted, it's actually rock tape, like kinesio tape, that I have all over my right shoulder in order to demonstrate to you what the spots are, including subscapularis right here, as you can see. So Hello, I'm back. So now we're going to be getting to work with using the baseball. I'm going to start with showing you the ones that are the easiest to get to with the pec muscle. There's a bicep tendon of the short head and then the long head, and then here it's the circle around is the deltoid, anterior deltoid, middle deltoid, and posterior deltoid. Up here you have supraspinatus, we'll get to that later, not now. And then in the back, in the middle here more, you have infraspinatus right on top of the scapula. And on the outside here below you have two, with a Teres major and Teres minor, which are part, they all kind of regrouped into the rotator cuff muscles basically. So even though the pec muscle is not a rotator cuff muscle per se, it still affects a great deal the shoulder. And when working the pec muscle, pectoralis minor, major too much, it causes too much tightening over here, overstretching in the back, can contribute to weaknessing and overstretching in the rotator cuff and in the posterior shoulder area. So you do have to be careful to balance out, making sure your posture is nice and proper, shoulder back and relaxed, and downward as I mentioned before. And then doing exercises like on the where you expanding through here is very helpful. There's so many ways. So with a big yoga therapy ball, even the medicine ball can work. Just a big thick towel or blanket can work, laying on it, foam roller, all those kind of things. That can be the topic of another video with me demonstrating to you. So here I'm gonna have the ball, it's in the door jamb here basically of this door. So I'm gonna have it right in here, I don't think you're gonna be seeing me very well here. So I'm gonna do it right here on this side, just to show you. And basically right in here, you're going in the pick. The reason why I like the tube sock is because here I'm walking away from the wall, and I am now going to have the ball falling on the floor. I put it behind my neck here, and then this way, you know, that's basically. So here I'm into the pec muscle, kind of same area as what's showing here in the blue, but I'm just doing my showing on my left side just for demonstration purpose. Actually, that's the side I should be doing, even though I do need it on both. This is my left side, the side that I had my latest frozen shoulder. So that's pretty much it. I'm not going through any more detail here of this. That's a spot. I like to stay on it because it feels good. So that's why I kept talking. So this is for the pec muscle basically. Then you go in the front through here. So instead of being right here below the clavicle, you move more laterally or more outside, and you be more on the shoulder here, right? You can, even as I move my arm, I can feel underneath the tendons. So I am on the deltoid, but if I go just a bit lower, I'm also on the bicep. This bicep is not too much of an issue. It's more my right bicep, so that's why I'm not feeling too much of anything here. But that would be an area you may want to work on. So to add some flossing to that, you can move your arm. So here I'm moving my arm up along the wall here. Well, I have a door here, but I'm moving it up along. Same like if you had a wall extending here. And then you can add even the neck. So my knees are pretty much pointing this way forward with my feet. I could have the ball behind the neck like this actually, that would be better. But if I want to put more tension on the ball downward, then I just leave it here. And then you add the neck. So you move your neck away. So I'm doing a little bit of a lateral flexion, so ear to shoulder, but at the same time I'm turning my chin toward my arm on the opposite side that I am treating. So since I'm treating the left side, I'm going toward my right side, and work through your breath work, you know, breathe in and exhale. I'm now getting into detail on that, and you hold that 20, 30, up to a minute and a half if you need to on the spot, and then you move on. So as you did the front of your shoulder, you go a little bit more higher, just a little bit higher, and you will get into like right here, and then you'll get more into your deltoid, right in through there. So I'm more on the shoulder itself as opposed to between my shoulder and clavicle, and here I'm more on the deltoid, medial, or inner middle, nice, more middle. I'm on the side, same thing. You could have your tube sock around here, and then just work there. You can bring your arm forward as you try and floss. You can turn, it's not going to affect so much with your neck going in that rotation, but who knows if you have that, who knows how much fascia tightness you have. What you could do is go back, and if you have room, you could go away this way, or even across the other way. Then you roll more. So I keep the ball here against the door jamb. This way it gives something to be working with the ball against, so it's not gonna, the ball is not gonna fly off, kind of thing. Always brace yourself in a way that your legs are supported, you know, with the wall against like this. My foot is against the wall, and then you move more back. Now if I kept going back, I would not end up staying on my posterior deltoid here. Then I'm gonna end up being over here, which is more my infraspinatus. So for infraspinatus, you basically, I'm trying to find door jambs, an area where I can use for you to see here on the camera. So it's better to go lower, and then you basically rotate your body until you're like so on the back and more on the shoulder blade, just like so. Now I'm gonna close this door a bit because I can open my arm up in front of me here and bring it, and even go into the other room here, extending that way. Actually, I can do it there. And go back. You only can go really this far, you can't go any further. So I'm gonna move my body this way because I want to get onto that shoulder blade. So anywhere where that shoulder blade is, the scapula bone in the middle below the spine of the scapula will be your infraspinatus, as long as you stay in the big flat part of the scapula where your shoulder blades moves, where your shoulder blade is, sorry. That's a good spot. So right in here, below here and down. Then as you keep moving out, then you're gonna end up in your Teres muscles. So same thing here, just put the ball like this against the wall. You have your spot mark. You could just use a marker, get someone to mark those spots for you, like I did it on myself with the tape that my husband put on there. And then you get into your Teres muscle. So you might not be, even if you're not quite on the spot, as if it's a spot that feels tense and a bit of discomfort, but tense and tight, go ahead and work it anyway As long as you go slow, work with your breath, take your time with it, it will be very helpful. Moving my arm up in flexion and back down slowly. And I'm going to turn my body this way. And drop it down. And breathe. So that's really it for those muscles. Now I'm going to show you supraspinatus on the top right here. So this one being where it is, you have to go a little bit lower. You could go lower for the infraspinatus muscle, like here. But definitely for supraspinatus, which is up here, you basically have to go quite low to get to it. It's not ideal, but it's you can get a pretty good sense of. I'm gonna go do it here because it seemed to work better when I did it here last time. So there we go. I'm on the spot right here. I'm putting the bar behind and I'm moving my body this way to get on that spot in that crease there. And turn your head away. So I'm not quite there, I'm a little bit too high. Trying to find the best spot to show you. There you go, there. So bend your knees, rest, relax your arm down and get into that spot. Stretch forward with your arm, bring your arm in flexion, rotate, in and out. Keep the pressure onto the spot. I have my hand, I'm going to put on the other side of the door jamb and then just assist a bit to put a bit of pressure against the ball with my body. And I'm turning my head toward my hand, that's just giving extra support, so to my left as I'm working the right shoulder. And just work that out. So work through the breath as you do all of this. And that's really all there is to it. Now I'm going to show you subscapularis muscle. So if you do not have a mace like this, see, I had put this on here because last night when I did the photo shoot for this, it was cold, much colder than I wanted. A bit of, it is not really warm actually right now either, but so you can, this is a 7-pound mace. You could keep that cover I had, it's no problem. Ooh, this is nice and cool. So at the bottom here I have neoprene, that's, it was a tape around, or not tape, elastic. So if you're someone who has a steel mace at home, use this. That's really ideal. We carry it wherever we go. We take it home every night, every day, just to practice. And then this, you don't need to do it long because we do it all the time now, because we know that if we do not do all of these exercises we're showing you today, we would become a mess very quickly with all of the work we do with our job, in our career. It is so physical and demanding that if we don't do these regularly, we will not be able to keep up with our workload. And that's why you need to know what your career requires so that you can counterbalance, whether it's a desk job, whether it's you're always on the go, moving a lot. You have to find ways to balance your life to make it sustainable, so that you can actually enjoy what you doing what you're doing and have a quality of life, right? So here, that's all there is to it. Well, I could add a little bit of movement with my opposite hand. So here, let me show you a different angle for the subscapularis muscle. As explaining earlier, you basically rest your body over the big ball of this 7-pound mace that I have. You can have a smaller or larger size mace, it doesn't matter. Here we're not using its weight to lift it, it's just to do this movement. So let your body rest on the spot, work through your breath work, breathing in and out through your belly. And drop your body down, relax your head down, and then with your opposite hand, just gently push toward your body, just to add a bit of extra resistance. You can externally rotate to do a little bit of flossing here and internally rotate. And then relax on the spot. Might send a bit of a tension through the arm. It's normal, it will go away. As you stop this, you can open and stretch and then really relax there. You can add a bit of a neck movement, going in that lateral flexion, opposite side, so to your left as you're working your right shoulder, and down toward your underarm, and back to side line or lateral flexion, so ear to shoulder, and back to neutral, resting down. That's really all there is to it. Now let me show you with the psoas ball. So that's if you do not have a mace, use a baseball and softball. Baseball, softball in duct tape. I'm going to use it right here onto this countertop. You can use a wider side if you want to make it easy. Alright, so now I'm going to show you the baseball. So here I'm using the widest part, which is the softball side, just to start out to make it easier. So basically I'm in that corner, like a countertop kind of thing. It's about, hip width or so. And you're basically going to do the same thing as I did with the mace. And that's all there is to it. So here you can put a bit of pressure inward toward where my sticker is in my underarm. That's really all there is to it. Really let the body sink down and work with the breath work. I'm bracing my legs here around this countertop. Make sure I have shoes that give me support so I don't slip. And that's really all there is to it. You can go a little bit deeper by using the smaller side. If you have something even smaller, not too small, but a little bit smaller than that. But for the purpose of the camera, I need to move my body a little bit more this way for you guys. So I'm going to rest my arm here on the counter, which this is actually okay this way, but also try and work getting your arm resting down below. So there you go. This sums it up for the subscapularis muscle. As you see, it's in through here, but just make sure you pull inward in through these tissues here as you go behind the pec muscle, basically, as your subscapularis muscle is on the really centered part of your shoulder blade inside the body. So it's really difficult to get to that tissue, but this is the easiest way. So next we're going to be showing you how to stretch once you have really worked, with a trigger point, fascia release with the mace or double ball from the... Alright, so now that we have worked with the mace and the double ball, let's stretch the subscapularis muscle and actually the whole shoulder girdle kind of thing, but this is going to specifically stretch your subscapularis muscle. You're just going to basically hang down onto a bar. So the bar, you don't want it to be high where your feet are not touching the floor. You definitely want to be touching the floor. So here I'm standing nice and straight. I'm able to catch the bar, and I'm gonna hang like this, just letting my body weight. So I'm lifting my legs so that really my body relax, but you really don't have to. Just rest like this, so feet touching the floor, and stretching. You can watch my chin-up bar video that explains all of this, why I do this movement here of retraction of the shoulders. That's really good one. Work with your breath work again. And then you go sideline. So my right arm is up on the bar. Put your left leg behind your body, behind the other one. And you keep your hips this way, your shoulders this way, so all the same direction. And then you're going to let your body stretch down. And that's going to stretch all through here, all the way down to your hip muscle. If you have tightness in your thigh, you might even feel it there in your iliotibial band. But really the focus is to stretch here and on through the side. And your head just relax in that lateral flexion. left ear to left shoulder, and then you repeat and you do the other side. Okay, so now that I showed you the right side, I'm going to show you the left side just to balance out the body. So you put your left leg behind your back this time, and you're going to stretch all through here. So you're going to feel the fascia pulling all in there, but it's really good to do that. Rest my right ear to my right shoulder, and stretch down. So that's really all there is to it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give me some thumbs up below, comment, and I will see you on another episode of Healthy Body by Sophie. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are out there. Thank you so much for being here. Namaste. Thank you.